guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is our immediate reaction to UFC 299. It literally it wrapped up about an hour or two ago, and we are here on the pod talking about it. We're obviously gonna start with the main event. It was a banger card. This card totally delivered. It had hell hype around it. It was a great card. But yeah, we're gonna start at that main event, guys. O'Malley 5-0'd Cheeto. Amazing showcase. What is the biggest narrative coming out of this?
Okay, first of all, let me start real quick and just say like whatever judge gave O'Malley a 10-8, kind of shameful. Okay. There was no 10-8s in that whole fight.
It was the fifth
But
round too, right?
I don't
And he
even
gives
know
him.
what it was, but
I'm about to look up the who it was.
scorecards, yeah, but it was absolutely disgraceful. That they should never judge again. But outside of that, clean sweep. I thought maybe Cheeto might have gotten round 4. That round was like his best round, I would say. But even then, O'Malley did his thing. Like Cheeto, again, we talk about it every fucking time we talk about this man. Gave away 3 rounds, 2.5, 2 3/4 rounds before he started to fight, and it cost him. Uh, his face was bruised and battered before he even started throwing, really, and cost him. Last thing, Cheeto has damn near the best chin I've ever seen. Uh, like he's got to move to the top of the chin list for sure. I was talking about this with Clark during the fight. I mean, right after the fight. But that knee he ate, and I believe it was like round 3, like that would have put down an elephant. And like he didn't even get wobbled by that bitch. After that, I was like, okay, O'Malley, you can't knock him out. Like just conserve your energy, hit him, but don't like throw everything into your strikes just because like he
Just
ain't
keep.
going nowhere. If that didn't take him out, he ain't going nowhere, man.
Yeah, just keep doing your thing.
What about you, Clark?
Hey man, I love the fight. This is my first round or second round draft pick, folks, and he did not disappoint tonight, man. I mean, the full display was on, the distance control, the pinpoint accuracy, the speed. I just knew he was gonna whoop Cheeto's ass. I would have preferred a knockout, but I was cool with this. But yeah, I mean, respect to Cheeto for toughing it out. That knee was crazy and a very good chin on that man. And he fought all the way through. And by the way, that scorecard was our favorite judge, Mr. Sal.
I knew it was. I told you it's got to be Sal, bro. Got
It
to be.
was it the fifth round?
Yeah, it was the
I
fifth.
yeah, to see. I think round two maybe could have been a 10-8, but like five,
I
no.
know, yeah, like that was the one I was thinking, but yeah, the fifth crazy. That's stupid.
Yeah. Sean
Cheeto at
looked
the end of the
crazy.
Cheeto at the end of that round, he caught him with that body shot, and
Literally, it was the last second, like the last strike time,
The last second,
if
yeah.
that
which is
happened
pretty
any
crazy.
earlier, if that happened any earlier in the fight, it could have been an issue. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Like, listen, Cheeto did lose the first 2 rounds. I don't think it was a mixture of him starting slow and just like not being able to solve the puzzle of Sean O'Malley. Very just tricky stuff. Like watching Sean, I can't really think of anyone that we've seen that strikes like him. The way he moves, and also that was his best performance in the in his whole career. Like he did knock out Sterling, but that display of just like
I,
striking was insane.
I
Remember,
But
remember
no,
the
go ahead.
Munoz fight, or what was that green haired fucker?
Moutinho.
Oh yeah, I forgot about his
He
ass.
basically like Moutinho'd this man for like 3.5 rounds of this fight. That's beautiful, and because like
Or yeah.
Cheeto is world class, and he made it look easy tonight for the most part.
I know you could argue like Cheeto shouldn't have even been in there, like he didn't earn the shot. But, it was a fun fight. It was a fun narrative. Listen, besides the fact that like Cheeto started slow and he couldn't figure Sean out, I just think he could have done a lot more, especially early. Like I know it's easy to say, but like man, I thought he was gonna tear into the legs of Sean O'Malley. It just seems like Cheeto didn't really have that great of a game plan going in there either.
I mean, I just feel like when it comes down to you getting a title fight, especially against a fighter that you've already fought before, you had a lot of success with the leg. Like literally, you had ultimate success by even if it was fluky or not. Like it was a leg. a leg kick situation that like shut off the nerve in O'Malley in the first fight. And he also just has skinny legs in general. So like, especially a movement based fighter, it's common sense chip away at those legs, and he did not do nearly enough of that for my liking. But hey, I'm sure that he said he'll learn from this. I fucking hope so. He just has to learn to start fighting a little earlier, especially like for a fighter with his chin. He really needs to just throw himself into the fight a little earlier, I feel like, and he'd have a lot more success.
Because he can afford to take those risks that like other fighters can't.
Literally, the Diaz approach.
Okay. Anything else on what happened in the cage before we move out to other narratives around the fight?
No, that's it for me.
Nick?
I'm good.
Okay, let's talk about really quickly what's next for Sean. He called out Ilya, but he said, if you guys want to see Marab first, obviously Marab has earned it. We could do that. Which one do you guys want to see next?
Fuck Marab. Okay.
Damn.
I want to see the
Damn.
super fight. I know Marab deserves it. No shade to Marab. But like I just feel like, hey man, they've been drawing back and forth. Maybe O'Malley, if he puts a little more size on for featherweight, like you never know what that's gonna look like necessarily, but I just think he could do it, bro. He's tall enough. I feel like his striking is good enough. I would love to see that. That would be a banger of a super fight. And if he loses, just like Izzy, he can just go back down and you feel me? Continue on at bantamweight with no real like loss to his stock. I feel like it's a win-win scenario for him. So I personally would just go for the crazy shit and want to see the Ilya fight.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I want to see this man KO Ilya because he talking some big game right now. That's all I gotta say. I
Facts.
mean, man, I wish Connor was just elite still at featherweight. He could just KO this man like so easily. I know it.
Yeah, no, for
Oh,
sure.
bro.
I know it. Like what?
No, it's just like it's so like far away from being able to happen. It's just so like
No, I know, but I'm just thinking in my mind like he just thinks he's a bad man. But hey, Sugar Shot, I want to see that fight because I think it's super explosive, very technical fight. I would also say though, like I will say Sean kind of gassed a little bit tonight. Like barely, but it was a little bit there in the championship rounds. And I would say like if Marab is there, I don't expect him to be there because I think Sean will KO him much before that. But that's
Especially considering like how little Cheeto was, how little pressure Cheeto was putting on him compared to like what Marab does. Um, in the past, I have seen Sean gas out a little bit. Like not to say like he gasses out to the point of being useless, but
yeah,
where his movement gets a little bit more labored for sure. Which like you're fighting at a high pace. Who can blame the guy for fucking gassing a little bit? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the pace and pressure that Marab does put on you would challenge that gas tank a lot more than he got challenged tonight. So this is a great 5 round experience, but don't think that he shouldn't rest on his cardio laurels here and just be like my cardio is perfect and good because Marab's gonna test that shit. He better be wrestling all camp type shit, I think.
yeah, that was one of O'Malley's like kind of flaws at the beginning of his career, his gas tank. He's clearly worked on it a lot, but Taporia is easily a much bigger threat to O'Malley than Marab, right? Like it's not really a question.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I've
it depends on his approach, right? If he has like a grappling approach, then yeah, I would say so. I would say so. I think he's a more dangerous grappler. Like Marab is just like a volume takedown guy. But in terms of control time or like damage that he can do when he has that control time, I don't think it's that much of a risk compared to like a Ilya. But I do think that like cardio wise and just in terms of like who's gonna push that pace on O'Malley, I feel like Marab's cardio is just a ultimate danger for anybody, really.
Yeah, I just think Ilya is much more well rounded. Like he's a big threat to O'Malley on the feet. I'm not saying he has the advantage, but like he could most definitely knock O'Malley out. And he's like you said, the wrestling. I just think he's more well rounded.
I agree.
I
And
agree
a
with
lot
you,
bigger.
man.
And a lot bigger.
That's true.
I
Mob's
agree
pretty
with
strong.
you, man, but I will say Volk was kind of fighting the way O'Malley would fight, but just not as dumb with like
The
his
chin in the air.
yeah, so like I feel like O'Malley could replicate a lot of that.
Are you good?
I would say like I feel like stylistically it would be a better fight for O'Malley to fight Tabori. Even though Tabori can hit hard, I mean I'm just saying I think stylistically it's better for
Okay,
him.
yeah, I agree stylistically, but I still think he's a harder fight. Like on paper, I
I
know
mean,
what you're
he's
saying.
more dangerous. He's more
On
dangerous.
paper, yeah, more dangerous for sure.
Yeah.
Like by a mile.
Yeah.
Okay, right now, Sean coming out tonight. Who you picking? Him versus Marab? And let's say like 6 months. Who you picking to win?
Oh, Sean.
Oh, Sean for sure.
All right. What about Ilya?
Sean.
I mean, I'm gonna take Sean, but it's way more emotional than like prediction, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I
Like
mean,
I'm riding the Sugar Show wave, man. Like
this is
I'm
my
riding with him either way.
this is my second round pick, man. We're gonna be two division champs this year. Like we're rolling.
Most definitely.
Cheeto, he's gonna take some time off. He'll be back. I think he'll be like he'll be a gatekeeper eventually. Anything else on this fight before we move to Cone?
No, that's good, man. I mean, shout out to Cheeto, man. His face looked like he had an allergic reaction after this shit. You know what I'm saying? Back to the drawing board and just start faster. That's all I can advise him to do. He
Yeah,
knows a lot better than me, obviously, but like at the end of the day, like you have a hell of a chin and you're not really using it. You're like letting it get tested, but like if he would have just been in O'Malley's face, like we clearly saw that O'Malley he took his best shot several times and a knee from hell, and he didn't get wobbled damn near once. He got punched in the eye, and like that, like made him back up a lot and take some shots. But in terms of like a pure chicken leg, do the chicken dance wobble, we never saw that tonight. So obviously the man has a hell of a chin, and I would just advise him to trust it a little bit more and just start fighting a little bit faster. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. Alrighty, let's move on to the co-main Poirier versus BSD. Man, this was a wild fight. Poirier obviously got the dub, but up until then, he was getting pretty dominated on the ground, especially in the grappling department. He almost got like 17 guillotines on him, but you know, BSD looked crazy. He looked super dangerous, but man, I guess Poirier, dude, he stayed so calm and poised. I was very impressed by that. He was able to weather the storm and got the dub. What are your guys' thoughts?
I
Go ahead, Clark.
I have a complete different take on that fight. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, BSD was kind of dominating that whole fight up until that moment. Now he was gassing out. He
Yeah,
was definitely gassing out, and I feel like that is where, like, I feel like he could have been just as aggressive, but if he timed it better, like, he was just kind of going, but he always had him. Like, Poirier didn't look confident to me at all. He didn't look like the same Poirier at all.
that's crazy.
And I don't think he did.
That's crazy.
Did you see that out there, Ed? Like, I saw him getting beat that entire fight until that moment when the BSD was completely tired, if I ever did.
Oh, dude, no, he showed some heart in there,
He
man.
didn't show hard, but like I'm not disrespecting that part of it, but he was getting beat the entire fight, Ed. He was not looking
Yeah, it was a 5 round
to
fight.
knock
It
him
was only a
out.
round and a half.
I think that from what I saw, Dustin Poirier was the wily vet in that bitch. And he did what he had to do. First of all, BSD was sprinting way too much. He looked like a young fighter who finishes everybody, and that's just the mentality that he takes. And it serves him well, against the lower level fighters. But at the end of the day, for against someone who could weather the storm, it clearly didn't pay off.
But DP was gassed. He was gassed.
DP.
Yes, Dustin Poirier. He was gassed. He was gassed.
I don't think so, man.
You didn't think he was gassed when he knocked him out? That was a slow ass punch. BSD was fucking tired as shit, bro.
BSD was way more tired than Poirier after all
Exactly,
that.
but Poirier was gassed as well. Like BSD could have easily just won that fight off that. I like it was a good knockout at all, but I don't know. I feel like BSD proved he was the better fighter in there, in my opinion.
That too. That's just I don't know.
What I
I get
saw.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying because he's winning the fight. But dude, it's a 5-round fight. He won like the first quarter of it. It's a 5-round fight. It's a marathon, not a race.
Yeah, but DP was so tired. Like he could have easily just got taken down and subbed like in 2 seconds. Like he got 1 or 2 punches off that won him the fight. That was it.
I guess, but like you I'm confused what your point is.
Well, like, no, it's not much of a. I'm just saying, like, it's a good knockout, but I feel like he was just losing the whole fight. And
Yeah,
I
I mean, I
feel like
agree.
it's a different DP. My whole
Uh,
point is he looked different. He just did.
he
Did
looked
he not?
not really. I mean, he's shit like what looked different about him?
He wasn't as confident throwing off his back foot. He wasn't throwing enough crosses. Like, he wasn't throwing enough.
I thought he was too confident on the feet. Every time in the clinch, when he had a chance to separate, he would stay in his tie clinch, and when they separated, he would barely move back and stay in the pocket of boxing. I think that was his game plan. I don't think it was about him like getting tired or anything like that.
I feel like he was losing every moment of that fight, just getting dominated every way. Did not look the same at all to me. That's just my opinion.
I just think that it was a difference in approach. Like BSD coming in there with ultimate confidence. Uh, and at the end of the day, just like pushing that pace. And Dustin Poirier is like smart enough to know like this is a 5-round fight. I have time. Uh, this guy like he's an up and coming young killer. Like let him burn himself out a little bit. I just felt like it was a more like experienced effort. Outside of a few times on the ground, Dustin Poirier was staying pretty safe. Granted, like there were some moments that just looked bad, like aesthetically, but like when you're a warrior in there and you know how to survive off your back, you know how to survive when someone has your back, fend off those rear naked chokes. I just felt like he just stayed defensively sound and let BSD gas out. Um, I think that like in the second round, like when they were in the clinch with like maybe like a minute and a half before the finish, I literally said like, "Hey, like this fight is gonna be over. Poirier's gonna knock him out before round 4," because I saw BSD starting to like gas, and Poirier, even though he was huffing and puffing,
He was
we
good.
know that he has that comeback cardio. You know what I mean? Like his cardio definitely recovers pretty quick.
Yeah, like what fights have Poirier really gassed out?
He was gassed there. He was gassed. You didn't think he was gassed there,
I
y'all?
mean, he wasn't.
Hey, watch it back.
I think he could. I think he could have kept fighting for 5 rounds. Is my point. He has that comeback gas tank.
Yeah, and I don't think him getting dominated the fight, like getting dominated the whole fight, was so much of not Poirier not being Poirier. It was because of BSD, bro. BSD's a monster. He clearly had a size advantage. He's a much better grappler than DP offensively. I just like I don't think that was DP not being DP. He was just had a good opponent.
I agree.
All right, man. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, he beat Conor McGregor twice, so
Facts.
Yeah, that third time doesn't count.
Amen. Amen. 1.5 times. 1.5 times.
Yeah. Speaking of Connor, dude, I could see them doing DP Connor next if like the Chandler thing doesn't happen.
The Chandler thing has to happen, man.
Dude, it's never gonna happen.
It's got to. It's got to.
But
Well,
yeah, BSD, he'll be back, man. You know, he a beast.
Isn't he like
What do you
20?
guys want to see?
Hey, I'll be honest, y'all. Like, I'm just kind of, I'm pleading for my draft pick. I can't even care, but
I feel that.
You gotta represent.
winning that shit. Oh my god.
No, I would feel I'd be so pissed if I bet on BSD. Honestly, like I'd be really heated.
I wasn't like, I mean, the way it went, it was what it was, really.
I feel that.
What's next for DP? Who do you guys want to see him up against?
Yeah, I don't even know. That's like the issue. Like, who do you put him against?
I mean,
Dariush?
I think the I mean you could go Dariush or you could just go the loser of Charles versus Arman.
That makes
And
sense.
a title eliminator maybe. I don't know.
That
Okay.
makes sense. Yeah.
No, I mean honestly he just did his job of fighting down, so he shouldn't have to fight someone like really down, like lower than him. Or
That's
like
true.
Yeah.
at least he should fight someone else in the top 5 that like we know it's a title eliminator, literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah, loser Oliveira's or Zuki.
Yeah, I feel that.
Or maybe, yeah, maybe Zeev.
Maybe
That'd be a good one.
maybe Fazeev for the fucking in a title eliminator, man.
All right, guys, let's move on to the MVP versus Holland fight, man. What a debut. I feel like it was everything we asked for. It was an MVP like performance, man. He did his thing. Crazy stance, just crazy movements, twitching around, taunting Holland. Did a good job defending a lot of grappling. I was very impressed by his performance. I thought this fight was going to be a lot closer than it was. What do you guys think about the debut of MVP?
What's up, Clark?
Hey, it's everything. I mean, I didn't expect it to look like that, but it's everything I've seen in Bellator, man. Flashy strikes, the combination, the over the hand rights were landing all day because of the movement. Holland was struggling a lot with it, and I don't blame him. This man's a beast. Like,
So awkward.
yeah, just like he taught KSI well in that Tommy Fury fight, man. The same style, and MVP was just working in there. And I mean, be honest, like he could have finished him really the way the fight was looking. I think he just kind of took his time though. Just wanted to be a little of a show, like a showman.
For sure.
Like a lot of respect to Holland for just keeping with it, but MVP was just MVP tonight, man.
No, I feel that. For me, what I saw, one thing that was really notable to me, the disrespect that he was showing him in there. Like to have Kevin Holland looking at you like, come on, like let's be serious in here. Like you know you're doing something right. Kevin Holland had been a goofball his whole career in there, and I expected honestly a little bit more fun from him. Uh, it did not seem like he was having a good time.
No.
It seemed like he was getting embarrassed. It seemed like he gassed out a lot quicker than I've seen him ever gas out before in the past. Uh, which I was like very much like it was very notable to me. Like, wow, he's kind of gassed. You know what I mean? Like he was huffing and puffing. Uh, early like second round, getting taken down by trips, simple as hell. Like it was a bit of a mess, I would say.
Yeah. Holland doesn't like being on the other end of the stick, man. He doesn't like being the one made fun of in the octagon. Now he knows how it feels.
No, literally, man. I mean, I don't. I wonder if like we'll just see the same Holland in his next fight, or if he'll just from this point on just be more serious, bro. He just got embarrassed. Not to say like he wasn't in the fight, he wasn't getting dominated necessarily, but he just wasn't really able to find MVP. Um, and I thought that MVP did a better job than people might have expected with his grappling. That was the most I've ever seen Kevin Holland kind of like dedicated to his grappling attack, trying to get the fight to the ground. And in the one moment he ended up on top, he had a lot of success there. So, I mean, it was smart of him to try to get the fight to the ground. He knew what he had to do, especially because he was having very little success on the feet. But MVP just look, he was a better man tonight. He was a better man tonight and proved that he is at UFC level, which a lot of people doubted. Who I don't know why they doubted him if they would have actually watched his fights in Bellator. Like, granted, like there was a lot of can crushing going on. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of like his highlight tapes were crushing cans, but he also fought a lot of valid contenders and valid fighters, and that proved true today.
Um, my whole like issue with the whole MVP thing coming over right now is like, why didn't this happen like 5 years ago? And I thought the age thing was going to be an issue, but he looked like totally fine out there. Like age didn't show at all. Maybe that type of style, age doesn't matter as much, but I
I mean,
still stand by that. I wish they signed him a while ago, but like I don't think it's gonna be like an issue.
He
it's
looks
very,
like
it's very
fire.
Wonder Boy-esque. It's very Wonder Boy-esque. The side to side movement, the in and out point fighting. The only difference I would say is that he can crack so much harder than Wonder Boy.
Mm.
And he doesn't throw as much volume, maybe, but the volume he does throw is devastating. Like damn near each thing that hit Holland was like this could like any one of those could have been a problem.
Yeah. He was just faster at the end of the day. I think that's what Holland struggled with the most. Even like he was struggling with his movement, but the speed was killing him.
Facts.
All right, let's play some matchmaker for MVP. I think there's a bunch of super interesting matchups out there. Why
Giving
don't you
it
guys? Let's go.
JDM. JDM.
Okay, all right. Well, who do you think should be next? X. Clark says JDM.
I'm looking at the welterweight rankings right now
While
because
you're looking, I say either Wonder Boy or like Ian Gary would be
I
fun.
was gonna say give him Kobe Covington or give him Ian Machado Gary,
No, I
man.
don't want to see Colby. Not Colby. Don't Col. Not Colby. Not Colby.
Give him Kobe, bro. He'll fuck Kobe up.
He still might get wrestle fucked. We don't know. We don't know yet.
But I mean, I think the Ian Gary fight is huge for. I mean, it can be huge for everyone involved.
That'd be a crazy fun fight.
I think that that could be a big fight for both people because that could either be a fat cap in Ian Gary's hat or it could just like vault my man up to a quick title eliminator, you know what I mean? Give him Bilal, fuck it. Give him Bilal
Oh,
and then just like snake him out of a title shot. I want to see it, bro. Fast track.
that's so crazy.
The man's 36, man. We gotta get moving here.
Oh yeah, give him Bilal. I mean, screw it. Like I don't want to see Bilal in there.
You guys are so
I
shameless.
like. I don't want to like they already just denied Bilal 300.
You guys are so disgusting.
I mean, Ed Dana was like, no Bilal, no 300.
That's why the fans got to support him. I'm just kidding, but
I'm dead.
I like all those names.
I mean,
Realistically, Gary sounds like a great fight.
I think the best one JDM makes the most sense.
All right.
He's entered top 5.
Speaking of JDM, let's move on to that fight. At least in my eyes, let me know if you guys agree or not. I thought Burns was winning the fight. It was close, but I thought Burns was winning overall. He just got caught, and I thought he was on his way to win that third round as well. Man, he just got caught. I'm a little salty because I did pick him, but like it was just a very annoying way for him to lose the fight. Jack looked great, but he was going to win that fight. What do you guys think?
I think on the feet, it was very clear that JDM was more crisp, but Gilbert was landing the more devastating shots. I wish he would have stayed on the lead leg a little bit more. I feel like he was having a lot of success with that, and he kind of abandoned it. But once, like every time he was basically getting those takedowns at will. And I noted at the end of the first round, maybe with like 19 seconds left or something, Gilbert got a takedown and JDM went for the guillotine that we talked about on the preview show. And I was like, I already called it. Like Gilbert's not gonna fold to no guillotines. I thought that Burns, whenever he went for it, was able to get the fight to the ground, at a very decent clip. And I was kind of surprised that he didn't try to force that issue a little bit more. I feel like he wasted a lot of time playing at range with JDM. And while he was like barely getting the worst of the striking exchanges. I just thought that every time it was on the ground, he got to a pretty dominant position rather easily. So I thought that, in the third round when he had him down, I thought that, okay, the fight's over. Well, I thought he was at bare minimum gonna ride him out. And then he made one mistake and tried to, get the takedown immediately, and he walked right into that knee, and it was, it was wraps from there.
Yeah. What do you think, Clark?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, I'll say this. I was impressed with JDM's striking. I thought it was a little closer than what it really was in the end. I thought JDM clearly was the better fighter on the feet. I thought Gilbert should have shot a little more. I thought if he shot more, he would have had an easier path to victory in there.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, he was winning the fight, and he kind of just in a transition moment just got caught by a knee, and it's sad, man. It's got my boy, and just unfortunate to see. But I mean, congrats, JDM. Welcome to the top 5. But
Very impressive win for him.
yeah, impressive.
Yeah.
But I also would say that like Burns is still here, man. He's still here.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
he didn't show like an age fighter or anything like that. He just got caught. Happens to anybody, but he was winning that fight in my opinion, like to that point.
Yeah. I will say, JDM, I find he just looks he's very fun to watch. It's very pleasing, his style. He looks like, it's hard to explain, but like he looks like a boxer. Like literally, like
Very
playing.
poised. He's
Yeah,
poised.
you just like put a boxer in the middle of the octagon. Like it's just very pleasing to watch. He called out Rachmanov, which I thought was also sick. That's a ballsy call out. No one's calling out Nick's boy over there, but
He gonna whoop his ass.
I don't.
He knows.
Um,
You
Kazic,
know, y'all know he's gonna whoop his ass. Come on
I
now.
would pick Rachmanov for sure,
Kazic,
especially after getting taken down like that. Like
oh yeah,
Rachmanov.
Yeah, it'd be bad news on the ground there.
Rachmanov would finish one of those shits. I swear.
But okay, who's next for JDM? I don't think they'll give him the Rachmanov fight because I feel like they kind of just want him to fight for the title. So what do you guys think he should?
Ian Gary.
That's
I
a great fight.
I think that's what it would be, honestly.
Or MVP, like we just talked about. Either way.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think JDM is a legit threat to win that welterweight belt?
I'm not gonna lie, Leon. No,
How old is he? 27?
Yeah, he's pretty. He's in his prime, getting there.
I feel like not right now, but I think that he could do it in his career for sure.
yeah, in the future, in the future. I don't think right now. I don't think
For
right.
sure.
Yeah, I think he's got to shore up his grappling issues. I feel a bit more because Gilbert, who's not even the biggest, like the best takedown threat, was able to get that fight to the ground basically at will. Like, I think that a Bilal could wrestle fuck him based on what I just saw.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't talking about him, but Sean Brady is lurking, man.
Facts. I forgot about Brady.
Alrighty, guys. Let's move on to the first fight in the main card, man. This one, did we all have Yadong? I forgot. I know. Did you X?
I had Jan.
Okay.
Barely, though. I said I wanted Yadong to win, but I was favoring Jan. And that exactly what I thought was gonna happen kind of happened. I figured that Yadong was gonna win round 1, just because like Jan is one of those like a lesser version of Cheeto in terms of like he does tend to give a round away, make his reads. But then after that, unlike Cheeto, he gets right to fucking work in the second every time almost without fail. And that's what I saw today. Yadong was still there. I feel like he got the closest to finishing the fight throughout the fight. Like it was very clear that Yang was weary of his power. He was definitely very respectful of the power coming at him, which makes me think that like at 26, Yadong is finally getting his grown man strength. I think his power is gonna only increase from here until he's at least like 28. But I feel like we kind of forget because some of these fighters have like amazing physiques, that at the end of the day, like grown man strength is a very real thing. And I think that it's starting to show for Song at 26, just now entering his prime, I would say. Maybe even a year or two off of his prime. Like his power getting real scary. I do think he's still a future champion of this division. Jan just, barely beat him out. And I think that takedown, if he doesn't secure that takedown, I think that he was on his way to losing that fight.
Well, like Mark.
I'll be honest here. I feel it was close. It was close. I feel like going into the last round, it was definitely up for grabs. And Song Yadong was winning until the takedown. I thought Jan won the fight. It was just very clear to me that the confidence was not there again. Like the takedown threat is just so there now at all time. Like he bites on every feint now.
Facts.
And it was hard to watch because like Song really could have just won the fight, I feel. And he just I think because he gassed from all the wrestling in the first round, I think he just gassed and Jan was able to come back and he landed some nice body kicks that probably added up to that as well. But I don't know. It felt like Song could have just really walked away with that fight. I mean, good win for Jan. Like, it's good to get back in the win column because I think he is an exciting fighter for sure. But the
He was like
confidence,
right there. Like you
yeah,
don't right
like,
there. He's knocking
like
on the door hard.
it's more for me. Like, I just want to see Jan with confidence, and I didn't see that today at all.
Well, I
Really,
think that Rob fight broke his ass, bro.
yeah,
I think it's just like the Marab fight really like it kind of destroyed his aura of invincibility. Because even the Aljo fight, like you could argue he won the second Aljo fight. He clearly whooped Aljo's ass. So to that point, he was looked at it as like a destroyer of sorts. And Marab just like absolutely wrestle fucked and dominated him. It kind of definitely made the rest of the contenders like it put blood in the water, you know what I mean? Everyone kind of believes they can beat him now, and I think that it's very real when a fighter has like an aura of invincibility. I feel like that does like psych fighters out, and it does like help them out a lot. Like once a fighter starts losing, it's a lot easier for people to mentally know they can beat them. You know what I mean?
Um, like you were saying earlier, I'm not worried about Yadong. He had a good performance. He kind of just, it slipped away from him. He'll be back. It's kind of tricky to match up Jan now. Like you could do Jan versus Cheeto.
I
It'd
mean,
be a decent
you
fight.
got to at this point. I
yeah,
feel
that makes sense.
That's a good one. And for Yadong, who would you guys match him up against? Give me a name.
Jan versus Cheeto, they're just gonna look at each other for a round. I swear to God. Staring match, 1 round staring match. I swear. But for your
Hey,
dog,
Song, I'd say Figueredo once he beats Cody.
Yo,
ooh,
that'd be a crazy fight.
Once he beats Cody, I mean, well, if Cody wins, then Cody winner of that fight.
Okay.
make Aljo fucking defend his fucking shit or get the fuck get off the pot. You feel me?
Wait, would you Aljo?
I'm saying like get off the pot, like shit or get off the pot. You feel me? He is occupying the number 2 spot, and if you're not gonna remove him from the rankings, like he's gonna have to defend that after he.
I mean, he's
I
at
don't
best.
know.
I mean, they're gonna remove him probably. Once he
Uh,
makes that fight, they'll remove him.
Maybe beat Rob Font. Beat Rob Font. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, it's not bad.
let him tune up his skills. You know what I'm saying? Like don't give him another killer right away. Put him on a 2 fight skid and kill his confidence. Like let him get a rebound fight. Rob Font. I say.
All right, guys. I know you guys are going to be happy to talk about this one. Let's move on to the prelims, the main event of the prelims. We were all rooting for a man.
Hey, shout out my
Chicago,
Dr. Curtis Razor Blades, man. Meteor Pride, man. Meteor fucking
Chicago's own.
Chicago's on. Oh man, I'm telling you.
It
I
is
told
what it is.
everybody who would listen that this was gonna happen. But to be fair, the way that the fight played out was a lot different than I envisioned it. To his credit, Almeida was able to get Curtis Blades down several more times in the first round than I thought he would be able to. Um, as DC, like he set like a heavyweight record for takedowns, which was pretty crazy. But as Cormier said on the broadcast, a lot of them were more like just mat returns. It was the same body lock. It wasn't like Curtis Blades was just getting like robbed. He was really just like he had the body lock and he was just breaking him down to his knees. Blades would build back up a base, but not be able to separate the hands, and then he would mat return him again. So kind of a little cheap on the takedown numbers, a little like not representative of what actually was happening. But at the end of the day, I was surprised that he was able to control Blades for so long. Of round one. Round two, he just shot him for the same blast double he always does. Ended up on a single, but Blaze just shifted his weight slightly and just hammer fisted him out of there. I already knew it was gonna be bad news bears for Almeida the second he couldn't get the takedown. And at the end of the day, he just needed to move around a little bit more, and he probably could have finished the takedown, honestly, based on what happened in the first round. But shout out Curtis Blades, man. He's still here. And Meteor Pride, man.
Yeah, dude. Also very impressive, like submission defense against Almeida. I thought by Blades. Yeah, I didn't think the fight would look like this. It's crazy how he could just ragdoll Curtis, but it's cool and frustrating at the same time seeing like a specialist like that. Like he was spamming double legs, like he was spamming the same shit over and over and over again, and it finally came back to bite him.
Facts.
This really like killed the hype train. There was a lot of hype around this guy.
It's still there, still there.
Okay, yeah. What are your thoughts on like where Almeida stands after that?
I think he's still there. I mean, to be honest, if they rematched, I feel like the line would be the same, to be honest.
Okay.
Or like Blades would be a very like
It,
125.
it would not move very much based
Yeah,
on what I saw.
like
I
Because
agree.
yeah, he's still dangerous to other guys. Like I get what you're saying. He's still very dangerous.
I mean, he was dangerous to Blades in there. He just made a mistake and just didn't bail on the takedown when
That's
it
a good
was not
point.
there.
yeah. It was
I,
just a fight IQ issue here.
yeah, but I
Also,
feel like,
like Curtis said, like they trained that. Like they knew his head was going to be there, and so good on him and his coaches too.
It was good, yeah.
I mean, he fucking woke the fuck up in round two and just like actually did a good sprawl that put Almeida on a bad single leg. And pounded him out, man. King Kong style, man. That's a big motherfucker. People forget how big Blades is. He is like every bit of like 260. Um,
Big boy.
big boy, and he's a skilled boy as well. Like something that a lot of these people are not in the heavyweight division in terms of their grappling. Yeah, great win for him. Great win for Curtis Blades.
Yeah, he called out Aspinall, but I don't think he's gonna get that fight. How about this, bro? How about Curtis versus Gon? They haven't fought yet. I think that's a super fun fight.
Two basically specialists, like a striking specialist and a wrestling specialist. Like
That's an interesting
that
fight.
is interesting. That is interesting. It
Mm,
could be a nice rebound for Gon. It'll show where he is with his grappling, and it'll also show like where Curtis Blades is in terms of like, we've
Yeah,
seen in the past. Like I feel like that's a good metric gauging fight for both fighters.
and
Yeah,
whoever wins, you give him a nice little title shot. Like why not?
most definitely.
I'd also say Gon has to fight down the rankings for sure. Because
Yeah.
he's the number one contender, I believe.
Yeah, and he's not gonna get title shots.
Yeah.
He's two if you count Aspinall, really.
But yeah. So too, yeah.
I mean, plus like Blade's already lost to Pavlovich, so Gon is the only fight that makes sense. We know Stipe ain't fucking fighting nobody else but Jones. So
Yeah.
What's next for Almeida? Give me some names.
give him fucking either Spivak. Has he beat Spivak yet?
I don't think so.
I mean, give him Sergey Spivak. He has to fight down, or give him Volkov if you want.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Volkov
That'd be
is
a
the only other person that's above him that is a realistic
Honestly,
possibility for him right now.
I'll be honest, he wins both of those fights, so give him either. Give him the higher man. Who's higher? Yeah, Volkov. Give him
Uh,
Volkov.
Give him Volkov.
Give him
Okay.
Volkov.
All right, guys. Before we wrap up, anything else on the prelims you want to briefly discuss?
Let me just see.
Pretty eventful prelims.
I will.
Oh my God, Gamrot versus fucking RDA. That we gotta talk about that and the fucking Kyler Phillips fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one. Yeah.
You look great.
All right, starting with the Gamrot fight. Oh my gosh, Rafael dos Anjos is an absolute animal at 39 years old. Still damn near like on his Clay Guida shit. He just doesn't look it, but
Yeah.
like he almost finished Gamrot in round one. Had him really hurt. Gamrot damn near lucked out into a takedown. I mean, he got the takedown. It's not lucky, but like damn near lucked out into a takedown. Um, Dos Anjos, he looked a lot smaller back at 155 because I'm used to seeing him at 170, where he's like a lot more like filled out. So that was interesting. I thought that he seemed a little bit like he seemed to be missing that weight a little bit. I feel like Gamrot was able to take him down a little bit easier than I would have expected. Um, but yeah, he barely got outworked down the stretch. But in the beginning, he had Gamrot hurt, and if he would have won this fight, he would have been right back in the thick of things in this division.
Yeah,
So
it'd be tough.
he's like his longevity, I just have to praise it. Shout out Gamrot for, getting the win as he should have. But like, let me just say, like, I've never seen Gamrot huffing and puffing that bad. Even in like the 5 rounder against Arman, like he was not huffing and puffing that hard. Like
Not at all.
those Anyos was making that boy work, and like he actually gassed out in a 3-round fight from what I was seeing, and I never expected to see that tonight.
I keep saying it, guys. Just go and look at RDA's resume, man. Look at the names on that. Like his resume is so impressive. Like he loses a lot of those fights, but like you don't blame him for it.
And he's right there, and a lot of it is like at welterweight where he's just undersized.
It's just too small.
But his durability and toughness and longevity and his ability to maintain at the highest level into his like damn near 40s, very much impressive. And I tip my hat off to him if I had a hat on. Like, God bless that man. I will be very sad with the day he goes.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I was very impressed by RDA, and I was pissed at Gamrot for about to lose a 2.5 round fight there, but thank God he figured it out.
He almost got his ass knocked out, man.
Like, thank God that man figured it out. But I was impressed by both of them. I thought they both fought hard. I think Gamrot just won through the wrestling, and you know, that's just how it felt. But I mean, shout out both of them. Like RDA, a legend, Hall of Famer, probably one of the best resumes ever. Like, it's up there. Like
Facts.
one of the better UFC resumes, I'd say.
And he got the belt. It's just like he's one of the guys. He's one of the guys.
Exactly. Yeah. In terms of just overall resume
His
year,
prime, he was a fucking terror in his prime,
and he's
There's a
still
mouse.
open,
and he's still a monster in there.
one of the best.
But yeah, this was like I think a lot of people saw it coming. It was a must win for Gamrot. Expected the performance. What's
It
up,
was
Clark?
it was a big must win. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't be losing already out here. No offense, but
Yeah, exactly.
just for Gamrot, like say.
Facts. Lastly, you guys want to talk about the Pedro Munoz Kyler Phillips fight? Kyler Phillips looked fucking fantastic.
You look crazy, man.
A problem.
With this heavy movement style, I was wondering, I was like watching his gas tank very closely, and it never really dipped that. Like, it dipped a little bit round 3,
Yeah, a little bit.
not nearly.
No.
A lot of it, I think it was even more so like he was moving unnecessarily in round 1. Just because, like, I think that he was doing a lot of extra movement, and he basically just tapered off that extra movement.
Yeah.
So it looked like he was slowing down in comparison, but like it was a lot more like cerebral and doing the movement that he needed to do to do what he had to do, and he was whooping Munoz's ass in there.
It was kind of similar to the O'Malley fight. Like it was just like a one guy just crazy footwork dancing on another guy, but the other guy is just too tough to go down. Because like yeah, Munoz was getting tagged by some shit.
The only difference is Cheeto, unlike Cheeto, Munoz was actually trying to fight
True.
the whole time, and he just was not finding him. Like he was throwing shit. He was trying to come forward, trying to press. Like he just was. Kyler Phillips just had all the answers, which is so impressive considering like Munoz's resume, like the people he's been in there against, absolute killers, absolute goats, and like Kyler Phillips just, he is 37, Munoz. I will say that, but at the end of the day, like I didn't see a wash Munoz. I just saw a great Kyler Phillips tonight. So I'm very excited to see like what else he has in store for us.
Yeah, I mean, just the combinations were crazy. The head kicks behind like 4 punches, then throw a head kick. I mean, the combinations were crazy. I like he slowed down a little bit, but I think he was just preserving for the most part. Like, I don't think it was that much. Like, but he definitely has to control that at times. I don't think he go that crazy.
Facts.
Or else it'd be an RBSD moment.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, I was impressed by both, but definitely like Kyler Phillips, that was crazy. I mean, he was just throwing the kitchen sink, landing at will. I think Pedro was just having an issue with the speed for the most part.
Yeah.
If anything, like he was definitely in the fight. He was having a problem with the speed for sure.
I would say give fucking Phillips Dominic Cruz or Jonathan Martinez next, man. I think that like,
I like
Dominic
it.
is not coming back.
he's already gonna be ranked 13. Like Jonathan Martinez ranked number 11. Like,
It's
yeah,
coming back.
I need to see it, bro. I need to see it.
Hey, give him Martinez. Give him.
Facts.
All right, guys. Well, it is time to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching this recap vid. Great card. Next pay-per-view is 300, so we're going to be cranking out videos up until that event. Please check out the shorts and TikToks, and once again, thank you for watching.
We'll catch you.
Thank
Peace.
you.